The life and fall of Queen Jezebel. The birth of a Queen Jezebel. In the ancient city of Sidon, around 900 BCE, a child was born into royalty. Her name was Jezebel, daughter of King Ethbaal I of Tyre. Raised in the opulent courts of Phoenicia, she was steeped in the worship of Baal, the storm god of the Canaanites. Marriage to King Ahab. At the age of 16, Jezebel's life took a pivotal turn. She married King Ahab, ruler of the northern kingdom of Israel. This union was more than a marriage. It was a strategic alliance between Phoenicia and Israel, aimed at consolidating power and influence and idolatry. As queen, Jezebel wielded immense power. She introduced the worship of Baal and Asherah into Israel, leading her husband, Ahab, to build a temple for Baal in Samaria. This act marked a significant departure from the worship of Yahweh, the God of Israel. Persecution of prophets. There lived a humble man named Naboth. He was righteous, God-fearing, and a proud owner of a vineyard, a piece of land inherited from his ancestors. Passed down through generations. Adjacent to this vineyard stood the palace of King Ahab, a man whose heart was swayed by his ambitious wife, Queen Jezebel. One day, Ahab looked out from his palace window and saw Naboth's vineyard. It was perfect, lush and fertile, ideal for a royal garden. Ahab approached Naboth politely and said, "Give me your vineyard, and I will give you a better one, or pay you its value in silver." But Naboth, rooted in the law of God and respect for his ancestors, replied, "The Lord forbid that I should give you the inheritance of my ancestors." Ahab returned home, dejected and angry. His heart was wounded, but he did not act, until Jezebel, his cunning and ruthless wife, noticed his sullen mood. Jezebel, seeing an opportunity, took matters into her own hands. She wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with the royal seal, letters that instructed the elders and nobles of the city to accuse Naboth of cursing God and the king. Place him on trial. Have him stoned to death, Jezebel commanded, her voice cold and merciless. The execution of Naboth. The city officials, following the orders in the letters, carried out the queen's instructions. Naboth, innocent and righteous, was stoned outside the city, his blood shed not by his own sin, but by the cruelty and deception of Jezebel. After his death, Ahab took possession of Naboth's vineyard, fulfilling his own desire, but this act of greed and injustice did not go unnoticed by God. God's judgment through Elijah. God sent the prophet Elijah to confront Ahab. "Have you killed and also taken possession? In the place where dogs licked Naboth's blood, dogs shall lick your blood, and Jezebel's body shall be eaten by dogs in Jezreel." This prophecy warned that the sins of greed, manipulation, and murder would not go unpunished. Naboth's blood cried out to God, and his justice was certain. The death of Jezebel. Jezebel, the infamous queen of Israel, had ruled with beauty, cunning, and cruelty. She had brought idolatry into the land, persecuted the prophets of God, and orchestrated the murder of the righteous Naboth. Her heart was proud, and her power seemed unshakable, yet God had pronounced judgment on her many years before. "In the place where dogs licked Naboth's blood, dogs shall lick your blood," the prophet Elijah had warned. Jehu's rise. After the death of King Ahab, the kingdom was still in turmoil. God sent a man named Jehu, anointed secretly as king, to bring judgment on the house of Ahab. Jehu rode swiftly to Jezreel, the city where Jezebel held her power. He was determined, fearless, and empowered by God's command. When Jezebel heard of Jehu's approach, she did not tremble. She painted her eyes, adorned her hair, and looked down from a window, mocking the new king. She laughed at Jehu, flaunting her beauty and authority, believing her throne would protect her. "Who is on my side?" she taunted. Jehu gave a single command. "Throw her down." Her eunuchs obeyed. Jezebel was thrown from the window, and her body smashed against the palace wall. The fulfillment of prophecy. But God's judgment did not end there. When men went to bury her, they discovered a horrifying scene. Dogs had devoured her flesh, leaving only her skull, feet, and hands. This gruesome end was exactly as Elijah had prophesied, fulfilling God's word in full. The moral of Jezebel's death. Jezebel's life had been marked by idolatry, turning Israel away from God; cruelty, persecuting prophets and murdering the innocent; pride and arrogance, believing she was untouchable. Her death reminds us that no matter how powerful or untouchable a person seems, God's justice is certain. The proud will be humbled, and the wicked will meet their end. Legacy of the Queen. Jezebel's name became synonymous with evil, manipulation, and rebellion. Even in the New Testament, a Jezebel spirit is mentioned as a symbol of deception, idolatry, and leading others astray, Revelation 2 verse 20. Her death serves as a stark warning. Power without righteousness invites destruction,